The humble bee, a winged invertebrate found all over the world, part of the Hymenoptera family. These insects, closely related to but not the same as wasps and ants, come in plenty of different shapes, sizes, colors, and behaviors. Most people would assume that honey production is their main contribution to our world, while in fact, only one species, the European honeybee, is responsible for nearly all the world's honey. In actuality, bees mainly give our world the gift of pollination. Whilst there are 20,000 identifiable species of bee worldwide, nearly 4,000 of them are native to North America. There's a large misconception about bees in our society. Most people think of bees as social, hive-inhabiting type of animals, while in truth, nearly 75% of bees are solitary or semi-social. Lots of people aren't even aware that bees can be solitary, thus praise bumblebees for their work in pollination, while solitary bees, such as my favorite, the long-horned bee, cover thousands of meters more a day per bee compared to social bees. They truly are the unsung heroes of pollination. Sadly, bee populations have been in danger for years, facing extinction from habitat loss and the use of pesticides meant for other harmful insects. Bees are one of the most crucial species in our world ecologically. Without them, our world would lose a majority of our flowers, fruits, and other necessary plant life. Even with such a negative stigma surrounding them, rooted in misidentification, they are severely endangered and need protection. It's because of this that I've decided to build a home for these creatures to sleep, lay larvae, and keep extra food. To complete this task, the hotel will need to be rain resistant, big enough for several 5-inch tunnels or smaller, and be made of natural, untreated wood. I'm going to be using a log, drilling holes into the flesh, either attaching it directly to a tree or more realistically, but less pretty, to a pole. If needed, I'll build a roof for the log hotel to help divert rain from pooling. The structure has to be facing north-northeast, as that's where the sun rises and the bees need it to wake up in the morning. Finally, we can get onto construction. So to start, here you can see me get my table ready. I like working in a pretty clean space, so I have all the tools that I'm going to use already at hand. This project shouldn't be too difficult, but knowing myself, I'm probably going to make it way harder than it needs to be. You can see me putting on safety goggles because, of course, safety first. Though I don't have the prettiest log, having a strip of bark missing, I got it from a tree that was knocked down anyway and just knew it had to go towards something good. First, what I did is measure out the log's dimensions, figuring out where I can drill, how deep I can drill, figuring out where the pole's gonna be, how thick I should be cutting everything. Overall, this took way longer than it probably should have, but that's okay because we got there in the end. So the way I decided to make the hole for the pole is to chisel out around 2 inches of the pole's dimensions into the actual log itself. This way might have been a lot more time consuming than it probably needed to be, but it's the way I did it and it worked. So once again, as long as we got a final product, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, I was rather struggling to get this done. I'm not a very strong person for my size, so banging a chisel over and over again into hardwood was quite the workout. Here you can see my little cheerleader Percy. The entire time I was working on this project, he was not in the garage with me, therefore whining like a little baby, but it's okay because I love him. The final product. Next up was drilling the holes themselves. This process should have been a lot faster and a lot easier than it was for me. You might notice a little bit of smoke coming out of the first couple holes I make. That is because, though I have a very powerful drill and a very strong drill head, I was indeed using the drill in the opposite direction than it is supposed to be being used. So, did I almost break the drill bit? Yes. Do I regret it? No, because it was really funny watching my dad's face completely get red in anger. But it's fine. Once I got the drill working properly, drilling holes was super fast, super easy, and they're all pretty good, I'd say. So, though only one side can be functional, I decided to drill in both because I'm super indecisive and couldn't tell if I liked the weird split on one end or the clean edge on the other. They're both really cool. The split end kind of gives it a little bit of personality, but in actuality, the flat surface might be a little more functional. Either way, I drilled both sides. As you can clearly see, I am a great cinematographer. The last step to this project was actually getting the pole into the log. With my dad's help and a lot of wood glue, we ended up hammering it in to its snug little socket that I may or may not have made a little bit too small. I had to make sure that the hotel would be around 3 feet off the ground, as I don't plan taking it out for the winter, so it needs to be able to not be completely engulfed in snow. Though the final product isn't as pretty as I imagined it would be, I'm very proud of the hotel I've made, and can't wait to see it being used this spring by tons of little friends, helping the world stay colorful. Bees are so important to our world, and I hope seeing my journey making this little hotel for them inspires you to do the same. Remember, we're all on this planet together, and by helping each other, we're helping ourselves. Thank you.